Good morning. Just a few minutes late. I apologize. It is time for just a word from the Word. Our scripture comes from 2 Samuel 24, verse 24. But the king said to Araunah, "No, but I will buy it from you for a price. I will not offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God that cost me nothing." So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. If you notice the title of our little devotion this morning, I'm asking, is it worth it? David had sinned, and God had given David some options for the judgment for that sin. David's response was that he would rather be in the hands of the Lord rather than the hands of the enemy. And so God sent an angel out to kill the Israelites for David's sin of counting the people. Finally got to the point where the angel of death got to Jerusalem, and the Lord stopped the angel at the threshing floor of Araunah. David goes up, he sees the angel, and he decides that it's time to sacrifice to the Lord. And so he gets to the threshing floor and he asks Araunah, "How much is the threshing floor worth?" And so Araunah is looking at his king, King David, and he said, "I ain't charging you diddly squat." And David says, "No, I will not sacrifice anything to the Lord unless it costs me something." David had already answered the question in his heart, is it worth it? Way before he had the conversation with Araunah. He knew that whatever the sacrifice cost, it was going to be worth it to get his relationship right with the Lord. So I ask you this morning, is it worth it? Have you personally counted the cost? Now I know. Y'all are probably looking at me saying, "Jan, of course we know that it's worth it. The Bible tells us that it's worth it." We know it in our head. But I know on a Monday morning that it's early to challenge you like this, but in your heart, do you believe the sacrifice of worship is worth it? Worship sometimes is a sacrifice. It's easy to come into a church service when the music is hipping and hopping and people are shouting and juking and jiving and swinging from the chandeliers. It's easy to worship in that kind of an atmosphere. But what about when you're going through troubles? What about if you're in a wilderness and you're struggling? Have you made the decision that even in those times that worship, the sacrifice of worship, is worth what it costs you? This morning's just a word from the Word is, I just want to tell you that it is worth it. It might be hard. That's why it's a sacrifice. It may not feel like worship in the beginning. That's why it's a sacrifice. But set our flesh aside. Set our circumstances aside and go into the presence of the Lord. And I guarantee you that whatever your circumstances are, the price of your worship, it's worth it. This has been just a word from the Word. Happy Monday. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.